Hip hop legend Afrika Bambaataa accused of sex abuse by three more men. He's a pervert. He likes little boys. Afrika Bambaataa was not just a hip hop star when Hassan Campbell began hanging out at the Brock's apartment during the late 80s. He was also a father figure. When Campbell was hungry, Bambaataa gave him a meal. When Campbell needed a place to stay because of troubles at home, Bambaataa gave him a bed. When Campbell needed money, Bambaataa gave him cash. So it was more than a friendship. That was like his father. He had the most fun in the world. Recall Campbell at 39. There were celebrities there, musicians there, neighborhood heroes. It was the best place to be and the worst place to be. It was the worst place to be because Bambaataa sexually abused him numerous times when he was 12 and 13 years old, Campbell told the news. He's a pervert, Campbell said. He likes little boys. Campbell and several other men told the news last week that they were sexually abused by Bambaataa, the South Bronx hip-hop pioneer whose 1982 hit, Planet Rock, helped turn rap into an international phenomenon. Let's move. Now, this brother right here, last name Savage, y'all could see the pain in his face. So don't think this is no type of comedy or nothing like that. This brother is really hurting. And he was traumatized by what happened to him when he was a child. You ain't never seen Hassan Campbell break down crying like that. That just goes to show this dude is a warrior. Because other grown men, they can't even cope. They ashamed to show their faces in public. They ashamed to leave their house. Hassan Campbell is on the block. And that's why I respect this brother. He said he showed me a book with a picture of a Willy Bobo and said, you don't have to be gay for me to stick. Campbell says he remained close to Bambaataa years after the abuse stopped. Bambaataa sent him books and put money in his commissary account when he was incarcerated for 3 years on the assault charge. I can go on and on with this, but y'all got to hear it from Hassan Campbell's mouth. Because I can say a whole bunch of stuff, but y'all got to hear it from this brother. And y'all could be able to decide if Bambaataa was put on the platter to be devoured for a financial gain, not just by Hassan, but just, like I said earlier, we live in a culture to where people take years of abuse and never say nothing. But now that there's a lane to get a bag, everybody got something to say. Bill Cosby, them women ain't said nothing for 50 years. But soon as it's a lane, the LBGTQ, dominance, that colorful umbrella I was telling y'all about, people just bold as hell and feel the need to come out. All those R. Kelly survivors, them girls, he been doing that since the early 90s. Everybody in Chicago knew about it. Same way everybody in the Bronx knew about Afrika Bambaataa. But it ain't like you could get paid off of coming out. Because if that was the case back in the day, I'm pretty sure people would have been came out and said something. But that's Negro here nor there. Let's get into this other half of the documentary because y'all need to hear this, man.
Out molester, you a faggot, you're nasty. You the reason why I hate gay people. I should have been exposed your ass a long time ago, but it's kind of hard to tell somebody that a grown man touched you and you ain't a faggot. It's kind of hard to even look a motherfucker in the face. It's hard for me to make this video.
A lot of people are asking questions. They want to know why. Me personally, why I took so long to come out and tell about Bambaataa. It's simple. How do you tell the world a grown man molested you? How do you come out and you tell the world and you say something to everybody? How do you do that? How do you tell your mother that nigga touched me and you a boy and he a man? How do you do that? I listen to y'all read y'all comments. I would have did this, I would have did that. You wouldn't have did nothing. Half y'all suckers done got punched in your face on the block and went upstairs. Half y'all motherfuckers got y'all lunch money taken. I would have did this, I would have did that. Half y'all ain't doing nothing. Not.
Yo, he's spitting number facts. How do you do that as a man? Tell your loved ones, the women in your family, that got to be the toughest thing ever. But let me point this out to y'all before I continue on with this. It's always somebody sitting in their car when they start confessing on social media. Jaguar Wright, before she started talking bad about Alicia Keys and Mary J. Blige and everybody in the entertainment business, she was sitting right there in her vehicle. She decided, you know what? I'm going to turn on the camera and I'm going to share this with the world today. This is the day. And everybody listen. It's something about seeing a person in their car that resonates with people, because we all had those moments where you just sitting in the car stressed the fuck out. You don't want to go in the house. You don't know where you want to go. You in the car because you're trying to get away. And that camera turn on and you just say, fuck it, I'm about to spill it all. Not only was it Jaguar right, but recently we seen Kwame Brown do the same thing. Played 13 years in the NBA, been retired for about 10 years, and all of a sudden he just got a mouthful to where he just got to let it out on everybody, and he just so happened to be sitting in the car. Y'all gonna have to let me know, what is it about that to where this is how you come out? This is how you tell your story. You gotta appear to be a regular Joe sitting in your vehicle. Let me shut up and get back to this.
For talking, running your mouth. Reality of it is, the reason why I came forward is because, for one, I kept hearing it over and over and over throughout the years. This man been doing this shit for over 40 years. But when you become a grown man and you a father and you have kids, at some point in time, you have to take a stand. I approached brothers. I told them, let's have a sit down with this dude. He's wilding. Never told him it was me, because there was others that I was hearing about. Nobody wanted to deal with it. Why? Because in Zulu Nation, you have these little individuals all over the place that's making a little money. A lot of money. Some of them. And instead of being a man and saying, you know what, I'm going to separate myself from this dude, or I'm going to sit him down and spank him, or do whatever I got to do to stop him, they pushed it to the side. So after a while of me talking to dudes, what do? I said, fuck it. I stepped up to the plate. I did what I had to do. Was it easy for me? Hell no. Not at all. I got to read the comments, what people have to say. My family got to live through this, see this shit all through the daily news. I haven't got a payday or for none of this shit. Wasn't looking for none. I got property. I got cars. I got houses. I got co-ops. I have all that. I'm all right.
Pause it right there. And let me elaborate on what he just said. Hassan said he was good before he came out. So it ain't like he was just somewhere struggling. He already in the whip. Ain't no telling what type of whip it is. So before you say he doing all this for clout, or he exposed Afrika Bambaataa for a payday, Hassan already had bread. You know, because we got to bring a close to this rumor now, because he's doing a great work out here. It's a whole lot of people coming forward. And a lot of those people have messed up motives why they coming forward. A lot of people looking for a payday. But Hassan already had money, already had property. So that debunks it right now. But y'all can still make up y'all own mind if y'all think he did all this for clout. Me personally, I don't think he did. I think he was just doing the right thing. Hold on.
I'm not looking for a payday. The reality of it is, I lost a lot of friends behind this. Why? I'm going to explain it to you. Anytime, you know, your friends know, because everybody know. Y'all people out there in the public, y'all don't know about Bam, but we know. Bronx River know. Half the Zulu Nation, they know. Everybody sitting up there in front, he never tried nothing with me. Yes, he did. He tried that. He tried something with damn near everybody. I mean, come on, man. He tried Crazy Mike. Crazy Mike knocked him out.
Oh.
Everybody know Phil brother Mike knocked him out. He tried Brian and Eric. He got pistol whipped. They were a little bit older. Everybody know. He has a history of this shit. So let's stop playing games. For you hecklers out there, crack all the jokes that y'all want to, but I want y'all to understand what you're doing.
Oh, man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I just wanted to say this right fast, man. Hip hop, especially New York hip hop, you hear about everything. If somebody got robbed, you hear about them getting robbed. Big Pun chasing Jay-Z and they put him in the trunk. You hear about Terror Squad putting Jay-Z in the trunk. Busta Rhymes out here living that life. You heard stories about Busta Rhymes out here living that life. So for this to go under the radar for so long just goes to show that it's a whole lot of people that don't want to get exposed. That's just an unwritten rule. You don't talk about that. But thanks to Hassan, it's out now and people
I don't
talking.
blame nobody that don't know. Everybody don't know. But there's a lot of people that know. Amber, Ahmed, Muhammad, you was at the meet. I mean, come on. Y'all know. And then y'all still sitting up there sharing pictures in support of Bam. How dare you? Y'all posting pictures up, sharing pictures in support of the pedophile. And y'all know he a pedophile. Y'all fucking vicious. Y'all just as bad as him. The reason why Ben was allowed to do what he did, because for one, Bronx River, the projects, the elders, y'all were cowards. Because y'all all knew what he was doing. The whole projects knew what he was doing. The Zulus, the top ones that's been on the council, everybody knew what he was doing. And y'all covered his shit up.
Yo. He realer than real, man. Like I keep telling y'all, this dude is real. And when you think about the Zulu nation, all the hip hop acts that's affiliated with it, it's no way they was oblivious and they never heard no stories or they didn't know. I'm talking about Will Smith, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, Zulu Nation affiliates, A Tribe Called Quest. I'm talking about Q-Tip, Pipe Dog. Shit, Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, all part of the Zulu Nation, and repped it like a flag and never said nothing, but they all knew. So it's sort of like if it's a hot group out, Cash Money Records, all of them know what was going on with Baby and Birdman, Juvie, Turk, but you don't never hear them saying nothing though. Because they know that they guilty by affiliation. But they trying to get that bag, though.
Continue to cover his shit up, and y'all intimidated a lot of people. That's why he never went down 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago. And even now. See, y'all intimidating TC Islam, got him on the run and hiding. Y'all ain't got me hiding. I'm in the hood every day. And I'm purposely going out there in the hood every day. You know where to find me at.
The Ed Lover Show with Moni Love, ladies and gentlemen. On the phone, we have with us one of the greatest absolute forefathers of hip-hop, Mr. Afrika Bambaataa. Bam, what's up?
Peace and honor to you, brotherhood, and to the queen, Moni Love.
I'm here.
Bam, how you doing, man? There's a lot of stuff happening with you, man. A lot of allegations against you, man. What do you want to say?
I definitely say that this is false allegations that's being put against me, and a lot of lies, and it could be me today.
Man, he can't be serious. He cannot be serious. Call up to the radio station and say all these allegations is false. They're a bunch of lies. Ain't nobody telling the truth.
Allegations against you, man. What do you want to say?
I definitely say that this is false allegations that's being put against me, and a lot of lies, and it could be me today and you tomorrow. You know, I completely deny all type of accusation that's being put against your brother, Afrika Bambaataa.
Bam, what do you want the public to know, man, since these allegations have surfaced against you?
You know, you need to ask the question, why now? And what is the hidden agenda behind this? Because is it because I'm still being relevant today, trying to do things and help people all across the world, trying to start a hip-hop museum, fighting in Colombia to bring people back safely in the streets, of start, of the crime of killing each other, the hate of each other, trying to stop all violence in hip-hop. I mean, that's been my life, stopping violence and helping so many people all over the place. And I don't care if it's hip-hop, if I'm doing something with indigenous people, if I'm doing something bringing unification with different religions. I mean, I have this so much. My record speaks for itself. Strange how all these media would jump to something of this, but ain't put nothing of all the different things that I do or things that the Universal Zulu Nation do all over the world.
That's like a pastor that's molesting kids in his congregation talking, but what about all I do? The turkey drives, giving people hope. Got the Lord name in my mouth. I'm praying for people. I'm donating to great causes. You can still be a goddamn freak. And a lot of times people do those type of things so they can have access to be a freak. just like a goddamn gym teacher. He ain't there just because he loves sports and like shooting some hoops. He can do that on his own time. A lot of them be there to get close to them little ass boys. And you talking about going overseas and doing things with people in other countries. Shit, you could easily take advantage of somebody overseas. But that's Negro here nor there. Let's get back to this. I do apologize.
Have any plans to press slander or defamation of character charges against your accusers?
Well, that's dealing with my lawyer who's checking on the case of that to see if it's called for to do that. Because I'm getting ready to speak to all the different medias and certain stuff like that now in the face of all this chaos and trying to destroy Afrika Bambaataa.
Exactly, which, yeah.
And bringing stuff against hip-hop community.
I'm afraid that the good work that is done then becomes overshadowed by the allegations and the accusers and so on and so forth. So do you—
Who the fuck is this bimbo? Please tell me that's not Moni Love sounding like a goddamn idiot. The great things being overshadowed by the accusers. No, you don't even speak on nothing like that till the truth come out. I'm trying to tell you that Zulu Nation is toxic. They a bunch of crackheads trying to line their own pockets up, man. And they will protect this man because they know he's generous with his money. Hold on, y'all.
To destroy Afrika Bambaataa.
Exactly, which, yeah.
And bringing stuff against hip-hop community.
I'm afraid that the good work that is done then becomes overshadowed by the allegations and the accusers and so on and so forth. So do you think that it would most certainly be in the interest of all the good work that you do to sue these people for these allegations and this slander that they're bringing forth?
Yo, let me say this real quick, man. I'm going to continue on, but yo, Hassan Campbell, I feel your pain. This is the elders that we was raised up having to respect. People talking about you don't respect your elders. Why would you respect some of these elders, man? They will throw you under the bus. This woman talking about you should sue the people for making these allegations against you. Man.
Becomes overshadowed by the allegations and the accusers and so on and so forth. So do you think that it would most certainly be in the interest of all the good work that you do to sue these people for these allegations and this slander that they're bringing forth?
Yeah, it's people that's trying to sell a book, making up false accusations of me, trying to get in sensationalism, just to gain publicity. This is some demonized stuff. It could be me today and you tomorrow.
All right, so you guys just saw those videos. And like I said, a lot of people want me to speak out about this.
Yo, man. So that's Afrika Bambaataa's take on it. And if you want to believe what he got to say, or if you feel like Bambaataa's right, there's people out there that's just trying to make a living off my legacy, that's trying to tear me down in order for their own financial gain. But what man would want to be demonized in the public like that? That's a terrible bag to get, especially when you got kids. I don't think nobody will want to go that route. Now, I know it's people out here that do some strange things for a piece of change. And then you have to say, if you was with Bambaataa all them years and he big and he funky and he was giving you money and you was cool with it, then it might not be a limit to what you would do to get a bag. If you willing to have a big fat grandpa all over your body for some goddamn Hot Pockets, then shit, why wouldn't you sell them out for a fortune and fame? Not saying that's the case, but if you willing to be with Bam for years, shit, there ain't no limit to what you willing to do. But that's Negro here nor there. It's a difference when you a child and you don't know no better. But when you grown, it's hard for you to grow when you had something tragic like that happen to you when you was young. So I say that to say the victims, regardless of their motives or whatever going on in their life, it's not their fault. It's Bambaataa's grown ass fault that they are the way that they are. So if you want to judge somebody don't judge them. Judge the person that made them like that. So we're about to move on. I need y'all to pay attention. Also, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Show me some love, because all I'm doing here is showing some love to my brother. You know what I'm saying? And it's an interesting conversation because it's bigger than Hassan Campbell. It's about plenty of people out there that ain't said nothing and ain't going to say nothing. Hopefully y'all get some courage from this brother, because like they say, you got to speak. You got to let stuff out in order to heal. You ain't never going to heal if you don't let it out, you know? So pay attention, y'all.
I was a good kid, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But what people don't understand is before Bambaataa came along, I was already being molested.
Oh,
So
wow.
in that situation, it made it easier to break down the boundaries for him to come along. I was already being molested. He wasn't the first one that molested me. He was just the one that was supposed to be the pastor, the doctor, the counselor.
Right.
He was the heroic figure that nobody, you know what I mean?
So wait, Tom, I'm sorry. When you said you got molested, who were you molested by? Can you share that information?
Well, the first one to molest me was a girl, and I'll never forget, because she did some sucker shit. She was molesting me, and like a while, because she molested me for a few years too before Bambaataa came along.
Yo, no disrespect, but this sounds like a professional molestee. They got a whole portfolio on molestations. And look, this ain't no knock towards him. It's a lot of people like that. They have a whole resume going. It's women. Oh, it was my cousin and the next door neighbor, and it was the milkman, and it was my teacher. It's sort of like they set themselves up to have this type of, like, it's a pattern after a while.
So when
What age?
I don't even remember, but she probably started molesting me like around the age of 6 or 7 years old. She
Now,
started
molested is like just touching you and shit.
No, she was like straight rape, like straight. You know what I mean? But she's older than me by what 7 years, 6, 7 years. So anyway, with her, I could remember my situation because like when you go through traumas, a lot of the times your brain might block something out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll forget a lot of stuff. Me dealing with this, a lot of things came back, but you'll forget a lot of stuff. You just block it out in your brain. So with her, the one thing I never forget was I was with this girl that was my age, and we was behind the curtains playing house.
All right.
And she comes in the house, pulls the curtains, catch us, tells my mother, "Now I'm getting my ass whipped with an extension cord." And I never could get over it because I'm like, "Yo, you taught me this, but you gonna tell on me?"
So she was mad.
You remember-
She
you
was
remember-
jealous that you was messing with somebody young.
She was trifling. It wasn't that she was jealous. She was trifling because the crazy part about her was she was older than me. She had me by some years.
Right.
So she was sleeping with the men that was her age. She was a whore.
You remember her name?
Yeah, I remember her name.
You seen her?
She in jail. I think she robbed somebody in the bank or some shit like that.
Oh, what?
She off the meat rack.
So she was the first one.
She was the first one.
What was the second one? What was the second time?
Or that wasn't the second time because it was different people. Like as you go along, it was different people.
Wow.
And then the second one that molested me, that was a dude. But the only reason why I don't put him on blast, even though he's a family member, is because he was still at a younger age. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know or never heard of him ever doing any of this shit again. So when you have a window where somebody might be a few ages older than you or whatever the case, I say, all right, I won't chop your head off because, like I said, I don't know you to be doing what you doing now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
So he basically saying, like, people do go through phases, but I don't know. I mean, they do, but like they say, once a cheater, always a cheater. Like, it's still on your list. It's still something that you've done. You know, you can always improve to be a better person, but once you go that route, you know, like once you grin, you in. So.
man was clearly 20 years older than me. 20 plus years older than me doing what he was doing.
So Ben was like the third person that molested you? You would say?
About third or fourth.
It was a
about
girl,
third or fourth.
Then it was a family
It was
member
about third or fourth. Then it was another actually a set of sisters that was older than me. I might have been like no exact. I probably was about maybe 8, 9 years old, and they was graduating high school. That's how it was like 17, 18. They was graduating high school. So it was like, I don't know. It was like
when you say molesting though, it's like touching you.
No, they was actually trying to make me penetrate them, like full sex acts or whatever the case. So it's like, and then when Bam came along, I was already broken in. Like,
all right, so you went through this. Tell us how you met Bam. How you came across to the Zulu Nation.
Well, met Bam been in my whole life. I'm from Bronx River. He's from Bronx River. So
how you met him, Pop?
How I met him? He knew me since I was in Pampers.
He know your family.
He's from Bronx River. Yes, you got to understand something. Bronx River was a project where everybody damn near was like we know each other. Like in your building, whatever building you from, you can go in damn near any apartment, use the bathroom, run from the police, whatever the case may be. See, now it's a little bit different because a lot of people are gone, but Bronx River was Bronx River. Bronx River was like a superpower of New York.
Yo, that's kind of crazy when you come from such a network neighborhood where everybody know each other. We just one big family, basically. Y'all don't struggle together, borrowing towels. Can we borrow some ketchup? Y'all in the struggle together. So everybody knows what's going on around there. How come none of them elders was protecting their kids? But in the 80s, when that crack hit, man, crackheads just wasn't caring about their kids or nothing. Dope fiends was selling their kids for a hit or blow. So if you got Bambaataa in the neighborhood and he a hip hop superstar, he on the radio and he in the videos, people was willing to do whatever he wanted them to do, especially if he was, the Robin Hood of the ghetto. Do that make it right? No, but it's just goes to show how messed up people mentalities was at that time.
So he knew you. He knew your family. He knew you.
Yeah.
But when you was going through all these molestations or people touching you, you wasn't in contact with him. You just see him. You wasn't like, y'all spoke. Y'all still was on. Y'all was on talking to each other. He'll talk to you.
Like Bam or talk. You gotta understand something.
Like he was sitting outside. I saw a video where he was sitting outside and people were
First of all, you gotta understand something. The young boys, for some reason, and I guess we know the reason, was always a magnet. He was always like, it's like when you listen to Lord Sharif, because he's older than me, so he breaks down when they was going to high school how Bam used to go pick the little boys up from junior high school. He always had a fetish for little boys. And from what Pepsi had to say, she tells the story like somebody's supposed to be sympathetic. When Bam was young, around the same age I was or maybe younger, he got raped by 2 twins. So that's her way of saying this is why Bam is doing what he's doing, because he got...
Who's Pepsi?
Pepsi is one of the I would say she's from the black spades, now Zulu. She's on the Zulu council. She's one that you seen in the video that was making him step down. So she was pretty much breaking down that how Bam got raped by 2 dudes. And that's what messed him up and have him the way that he is. I do understand sometimes that happen, but the reality of it is, if this is how you living and this is what you're doing in the community, whatever your excuses, you got to be put down. When a dog bite a child, you put him down. That's the bottom line to it.
So you knew Bam. I'm trying to figure out the timeline. Like what I'm trying to figure out is like, all right, you know him. When did you want to join Zulu Nation? You
you gotta understand something. When you dealing with the Zulu Nation, it's like you sitting up there watching UFC or WWF. You got the hood legends. Like we had legends in my hood. So of course, then on top of that, not just the legends, the music, like everything. It's not even so much if you wanted it. If you was in Bronx River, you didn't want to join the Zulu Nation. You was already Zulu. That's how that go. So even if you wasn't even like this is the birthplace, you was already Zulu. You just family. Bronx River was family.
I don't know what's up with y'all tough niggas. Y'all don't like talk. I like details, nigga. I'm like the police. Not a rat. I want every single day. I walked outside. I saw him. Hey, man, what's up?
What more?
You're paraphrasing.
Listen, you know what?
This dude talking about he want specific details. He just gave you all the details. In his neighborhood, it just was what it was. Everybody know each other. He was, Bambaataa was around before he was born. He grew up knowing who Bambaataa was. So a lot of the stuff that Hassan went through was the norm for the longest. It was just his life. So you can't fault this man for his experiences. You can't fault him for where he was born. It's just some crazy shit was happening where he was born at. And he just so happened to be a part of it. So y'all got to quit criticizing and judging this man like he had some control over his life at that time.
It's
And
kind
you
of
have
hard.
a good memory.
It's kind of hard to give you details on people that was there your whole life.
Okay, so all right, so he was always
He been there my whole life.
Okay, got it. Now, when did you go? When did you have a one-on-one with him? That's what I mean. Like, when did you? Okay, you part of the Zulu, so you were a young Zulu. When did it first happen between you and Bam?
All right, one of the first times that first happened, I can't really tell you around when the first time happened because, like I said, a lot of the times, a lot of the situation, it just
is it blurry?
It blank. It's like you don't even. Some things you just basically forget completely,
Okay.
and then certain things that trigger it and where it come out. But what I could do for you is I can break down, like for example, I can give you examples. There was a time where it was me, my brother that got life in jail, and another one of my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
We was all in the apartment in Bronx River, and there was an episode that came on of Different Strokes where Arnold,
what show was that?
Arnold and Dudley, Different Strokes.
Let's
The
do it.
white shit.
No, the black joint with Different Strokes. You got the
Stupid
white
ass.
dude, Mr. Drummond. You got Arnold, which is what's his real name? Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is. Arnold and Dudley.
Yeah, I Google it real quick, man. It's been a long time, man.
So anyway, in the episode, they was in the store.
We was talking about Willis. There we go.
Yeah,
I
talking
thought it was that, but I wasn't sure.
Oh,
yeah.
So now he was in the store, in the basement of the store, and the dude in the store pulled out the Polaroid camera and started getting them to take their clothes off. Now that stood out to us because while we was in there trying to lift the weights in the weight, trying to flex our muscles, now he trying to convince us to take our clothes off. And he pulls out the Polaroid camera. Ooh, let me see your muscles. So we all looked at each other like it got real uncomfortable. So we slid off. So that was like that's one of the moments that stood out. But with Bam's the type of dude. This is what he does. You go in the bathroom, he'll try to follow you in the bathroom.
The fuck?
Like he giving you advice on how to piss. Then, like first time he tried to actually break me in, he asked me questions about porno. Do you you watch porn? Like, nah, my moms ain't let me watch no porn. Well, you're supposed to jerk off, right?
The fuck?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So now he introducing you to porn. And then while he's introducing you to porn, he pulls out the black book with all the Polaroids in it. And in this book, this is this book, you can never forget this book because you see every gangster nigga. I'm talking about killers. He caught them around the same age I was. So now you see these dudes and you see in their faces, he got dudes in the book with like it's just terrible. It's terrible.
Yo.
So now this is how he's breaking.
Yo, that is fucking crazy, yo. Cause I'm just thinking, like my neighborhood coming up, all the tough dudes, all the gangsters that hung out on the corners or whatever when I was young. If I seen a book of them butt naked doing some fruity shit, all of them, the dudes I look up to, the dudes I'm afraid of, you don't got all these, yo, that gotta mess with your head, yo. And that's why I said in the beginning of this video, this brother is a straight lion to where you done been through all types of crazy stuff. And not only is you still living to talk about it, but you ain't got no shame. Man, if it was me, I probably wouldn't even want to come outside. But this brother right here, yo, he a phenom. He phenomenal, y'all. And if you ain't subscribed to his YouTube channel, type in Hassan Campbell. Subscribe to his channel, man. Hit the like button on his videos too, because this dude is the truth, man. A lot of dudes ain't built like this. Hold on.
Man,
I mean, what in the book? What naked? Just take a
butt ass naked, like just all types of foul shit. You see what I'm saying? And it's like whoa. So then he's telling you that you're supposed to jerk off. You got to jerk off because it's unhealthy for you not to. This is what he's doing. He's breaking you in. Then he gets you to the point to where that one day I finds myself in the room. That it's crazy because a few of the dudes that he actually molested, everybody went to jail for murder.
But let me ask you a question. Before you went in the room, did you tell him you've been molested before? Did you confide in him?
No, I didn't tell him that.
Okay, good.
I mean, first of all, you're dealing with the mind of a fragile, broken child. You see what I'm saying? You may have. Sometimes you might find an 18-year-old that's not mentally mature.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Then you might find somebody that's 15 that's mentally mature. Everybody's not the same. Mm-hmm. So he was dealing with somebody that he knew was already broken. But then you got to understand too, you're dealing with a dude that's big as hell, a dude that got an army behind him, and a dude that was a master manipulator, because this same dude got every gangster from the community and got away with it and is still walking around. And to this day, so when you asking questions, ask yourself a question, because everybody that heard all the proof also knows that, like, for example, I seen Red Pill. Red Pill was talking, and he was like, yo, I ran into a few people that I know in restaurants that admitted that he got them too. That ain't gonna come forward. So everybody knows.
Yo, that's crazy how he said a lot of the dudes that he got to that was in the book, they in jail right now for murder. And I also heard Big U in an interview, he said about 90% of them dudes that's in jail done got molested when they was younger. So it's a cycle that's going on. You got these thugged out goons with all the tattoos on their face and all over their body. Man, somebody probably got to them. You have to overcompensate for your masculinity and your manhood just to, make up for what was tooken,
that he got.
So the black book was basically to woo you. Like, yo, look, these niggas did it.
That's his trophy.
All right.
Also telling you, like, nigga, you might be next. So you see who I got here. Like, he bigger than you. He's strong. Much. He's stronger than you. If I can get him, I can get you. So
pretty much,
you stuck in the trap right now.
Then what he started doing, and see, you know what? A lot of shit I blanked out. But then after I put him on blast, I started remembering certain shit and certain people that was older than me, but still 10 years or 11 years younger than Bam, that Bam got. Now these dudes are of age. Bam will have me sitting there watching him giving these older niggas oral sex.
Oh, hell
dudes
no.
that I looked up to.
Oh,
and
no.
the funny part about it is, when you sit back and you tell the so-called gangsters that's supposed to be around, you tell them like, yo, this is what this nigga was doing, and he watched this during that time. Oh, well, here's the excuse. Well, he might have did that. He allowed that to happen because, he might have been behind on his rent. So now y'all went from being molested by this nigga to prostituting to the nigga. You see what I'm saying?
That's some rough stuff, man. Oh, man, this is discouraging, yo. Like these, that's why I ain't got no male friends now like that, man. You just don't know who to trust. These brothers out here, man.
That I had to listen to. And so I give you an example. That's like, I'm gonna call a name out. One name out. I'm gonna call, and he a soldier too. He got locked up for shooting the police. He get busy. Tafiq. Police sergeant on the concourse. Public information. He beat it. Public information. Got locked up for bodies too. Beat it. Public information. We all did. Tafiq, he was molested by Bam. He's supposed to be Bam's cousin. Tafiq's younger brother, Ali Baba, molested by Bam. One day, I'm not going to call the other name out because dude's got sons. And I realize it brings out a lot of pain, but me, Ali Baba, and another dude that just came home from jail for murder like a few years ago, whatever the case may be now, he's raising his children. Proud of him. All three of us, we young boys, he got all of us up in there with a bottle of Vaseline, pouring porn on, trying to jerk all of us off together. This is what the nigga do. You see what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm thinking, man, I'm just thinking back on my childhood. I ain't never had nothing like this happen to me, thank God. But I'm just thinking about me and the kids I grew up with. And I ain't trying to compare myself to none of this, but if something like this happened, I would imagine that we would have been against it. Like we would have, hey man, I can't speak on it. Like I said, it ain't never happened to me. All I can do is just say, this brother got my respect. I'm gonna continue on because my mind, I can't get it through my head because I ain't never experienced nothing like that. So
around and now, you know, certain dudes talk about, well, you know, Bam said he liked to drink semen because it gives him power by drinking the semen of little boys.
Oh hell no!
It's just real shit.
What happens to anybody who try to get out the situation? Cause I know somebody had to try to like fight him off or try to kill him or something.
Well, there's stories of people that got into it with him, and it may not went down the way that it would have happened with certain other people because some of these people had, you know what I mean? They grew up in the family. See, Bam was strong, but some people, like certain things you couldn't do to certain people because then they would ask the question of, well, why are you doing this? And then you had those that would cover it up. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, when you're dealing with the Zulu Nation, you sit back and you analyze it. You didn't see the Zulu Nation handle the situation out the way that it was supposed to be handled. There was no outrage. It was, shh, let's quiet this down so we can get back to business. Not no, you gonna answer for this. There was no responsibility on behalf of him. And all of the years, I'll give you a prime example. The dude that stabbed Bam up, where is he?
Spanish nigga.
Where is he? Now, I do know.
You tell us.
I do know I was one of the soldiers that was supposed to hit him. And when I got the picture and seen and did my homework and figured out what was going on and seen the baby in his face, it fucked me up mentally.
So what Bam did to him? I heard he stabbed Bam. And
yeah, I can go on and on for hours about this, but the subject is this, man. Do you think Hassan Campbell came out and exposed Bambaataa so he can make a living, to build his reputation, to get a following, to get a fan base, to get his name up? I don't think that's the case, man. But the reason why people been asking me to do this video is because he dealt with this type of stuff for years. It's not a 1 or 2 time thing. It's something that was going on. You just heard him say that they put a hit out on the dude that stabbed him up and they gave him the task to go do the hit. So if you was, you know what, I guess the Zulu Nation got a bunch of soldiers that's willing to do whatever for Bambaataa, and there's people like that out there. And this is something else I want to say before we go into the next segment. My mind all over the place. A lot of these hip hop groups are like cults. So when you think about all them weird ass cults where you got the people wearing the sheets and they doing rituals and all that type of crazy stuff, that's basically what the Zulu Nation was. It was a big ass cult. And their leader was just as weird as them people in them other cults. So when Hassan say that he was brainwashed and he was manipulated and Bam is a master manipulator, don't look at Afrika Bambaataa as a hip hop artist or a hip hop pioneer. Look at him as a cult leader. And this brother was inducted into his cult at a young age. So that can help you understand what's going on here. And a lot of people don't want to accept that. Like I said earlier, this is sort of like Peter exposing Jesus. People going to look at Peter like Judas if he did something like that. Like, you don't want to go against the Lord. But in order to do something like that, something so bold, you got to have something incredible to gain, or you just want the truth to be heard. I think Hassan Campbell just wanted the truth to live his truth. And I think that's why the brother's so comfortable in his own skin, because when you let that out, that let a weight off your shoulders. Yeah, you're going to deal with the criticism and the scrutiny and everything, but that's better than feeling that pain of keeping it inside and keeping it a secret, you know? Like, you might as well just go ahead and tell the truth. The truth will set you free. So this brother, he out here free, man. And if he making a living and people know who he is, he earned that shit, because he did something that a lot of people wouldn't do. Sometimes the rough road is not the easiest road traveled. I'm over here reading Psalms and parables, man. Let's get on to the next segment here, man. Let me see what's going on over here. Make sure y'all, Marlon Richardson donated $9.99. He said, keep doing your thing, bro. Much love. Yo, thank you so much, Marlon. I appreciate that donation, man. And for the rest of y'all, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also hit that Cash App too. Let's get into the next segment with the brother Hassan Campbell.
Well, as far as the Zulu Nation goes, I mean, it's like mixed feelings, because that's my family.
Yeah.
Zulu Nation is bigger than Bambaataa.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, when it comes to Zulu Nation, was it anybody in the nation that behind the scenes was like, yo, Poppy, you right, man, you right?
See, that's the problem. Behind the scenes, everybody's you right, but as far as stepping up to the forefront, everybody's silent or some coward. You know what I mean? Step up to the forefront, stop playing.
And I seen the last video you put out. You mentioned the name by the name of Tafik. Who is Tafik?
Tafik was like a brother to me.
Okay.
He's supposed to be Bam's cousin. You know, I don't know if they really cousins or they just go back to the islands together, but he's supposed to be Bam's cousin, and he's also somebody that Bam molested.
And how do you know Bam molested him?
I saw it.
Damn.
Even though Tafik is a little bit older than me, probably about between 4 to 6 years or whatever the case, but at the same time, you know, when I was a kid, Tafik was a kid, or he was older than us, but me, Tafik, little brother Ali Baba, and it was another brother, I'm not going to mention him no more, whatever. It was all three of us. Bam just had us like in a room having a boy orgy.
Wow.
3 little boys at one time, and it was me, Tafik's little brother, and the other brother.
So, all right, when this is taking place, when do you realize you're a victim? Because, you know, some people might say, so why the fuck you went back if it happened one time? When do you realize you're being victimized here?
All right, so let me break something down to you.
Okay.
Make people understand something. What made it easy for Bam to do what he did to me, because Bam wasn't the first one to molested me. We clear?
Yeah, we good.
Bam wasn't the first one to molest me, so it was just like open season when he came along, because I was already broken in.
Okay.
Yo, let me say this, because I know I've been praising this man the whole video, but I admire this brother. He not playing the victim. That's something that he's not doing. So when you have people that's victims and they playing the victim, oh, I was innocent. This is the first time. And, you know, rightfully so for a lot of people. He not playing that card. He like, look, man, this ain't the first time. But this type of stuff happens, though. It's out there. And it happened to me.
And then you have to keep in mind, too, with Bambaataa, he comes along, a hip-hop pioneer in Bronx River, legendary status, and then he's coming along in a time where the black community was plagued with dope and crack. Mm-hmm. That was a heavy time and a heavy era. So, you know, most of the people in the projects were strung out. Not to say my moms were strung out, but a lot of people were strung out. So it made it easy for Bam to be a prey over the youth in the projects.
Yo, that's exactly what I said earlier, man. The 80s was a beast. And people just was not caring. Even when I was coming up in the 90s, we could be wherever, do whatever. Parents just wasn't really caring like that. And you can stay out all night regardless of how old you is. It was just crazy like that.
So you looked at it as a place of like a covering for you, but this is what was taking place when you was going there. My question was, when did you realize this shit ain't normal? Like, I ain't supposed to be coming here no more. Like, when did that hit you?
honestly speaking, it been hit me from the first time.
Okay.
But at the same time, it was like going back home with Mom Dukes was crazy too.
Okay.
Not to say my mom's was a bad mom's, we just wasn't getting along. Pops wasn't there. You know, I was getting my ass whooped for every goddamn thing. So in some cases, Bam was an outlet, but not an outlet at the same time. Like, damn. So once you get over the monster in the bedroom with him, which is really, really bad, it's like, all right, now I get to be around some of my heroes like B.O. Like in the Zulu Nation, you had dudes that was legendary that you looked up to, and you just wanted to be around those brothers. So it wasn't just all about Bam too. You want to be amongst the family, because the truth of the matter is like ain't nobody really all happy to be sitting amongst Bam, because you know once Bam gets you alone, you know the boogeyman gonna come out.
So the reason why I'm asking you these things, because for the education for the children that might see this, like, you know, sometimes they are being victimized and they don't even realize they're being victimized. They just like think it starts to become normal. I've had a female that I'm not gonna say her name. She told me the shit was normal to her, like it was routine, and then it took her to be an adult to realize that shit was wrong. He wasn't supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it was always despicable. Even like sometimes now I could be having sex with wifey or whatever the case may be, and then go all the way limp, and she'd be like, "Yo, that's because you fucking with all them other bitches." And I'd be like, "Nah, I just had a nasty fucking thought that went through my mind, a flashback, and it just turns you all the way off." Like even to the point to where that you so young of a little boy, you can remember the feeling of this man's mustache on your fucking pelvic area. Like,
damn.
Oh,
sick.
whoa.
You see what I'm saying? It's disturbing. But, you know,
Very.
the one thing that the youth has to be careful of, or parents have to be careful of when you're dealing with somebody, when you see a basketball coach, when you see, let's say, basketball coach or pastor or a dude or artist like
Boy Scouts, definitely.
Boy Scouts or artists like Bambaataa, that you never, now it's been 5 years, 10 years past, you never see this man with a woman, something is wrong. If you see a man that's dealing with boys and there's no woman around, understand the woman is your kid. And it's real. It always turns out to be like that. And see, what people don't understand, the majority of the time when a young boy get molested, he never comes to the forefront and tell. That is the hardest thing to actually tell.
You think it's harder for boys than it is for girls?
It's impossible to tell.
Yeah.
People sit up there and they say, "Yo, what took you so long to come forward?" Like, dogs. Name one dude that ever got raped in jail and came home and told somebody he got raped.
Facts.
Yeah.
Name one dude. Plenty of dudes done got raped in jail.
Yeah.
But name somebody that came home and said, "Yo, them niggas got me in the shower, boy." How did you say that? And then when you somebody like me that have a reputation like me, you gonna see bloggers talking shit, nigga. Well, if you was all that, why you ain't pop that nigga top? Truth of the matter is, and I got an answer for that too. For one, Duke was like a father to me.
Okay.
And it makes me sick when I see people blogging talking about, "Oh, he probably gay." Nah, I'm not gay. And if you said that to me, we would definitely have a problem. I'm not gay. I love women. I have children. I'm a father. That's first off. Second off, you know, like I said before in one of my other videos, when you addressing these situations in the comments, there's kids that want to come forward.
Did you know that having
Hold
cold hands and
on,
feet is
y'all.
a sign
I
of
do
a much bigger
apologize.
health problem?
Yeah, man. You gotta, that's one of the reasons why I'm being real careful with this video, because you can easily get online and talk crazy about this man if that's what you want to do. You want to make a Hassan Campbell is this and that video. You can do that, but you the coward at the end of the day, because this man is living his damn truth and he living his life and he ain't sugarcoating nothing. So for all y'all out there that got something negative to say about this man, if you was in a situation, you wouldn't even be built to speak on this, especially not to the public, you know.
But when they reading these statements, y'all being too hard. Now
You're deterring them, yeah.
You basically telling them, "Oh, whoa, I'm gonna have to go through this hot
The
seat."
scrutiny, they don't want to deal with that scrutiny.
What you putting them through, like a lot of our community is at war with pedophiles.
Yes.
3 out of 5 girls is molested in our community, but you're not never hearing the stories.
Yeah.
So for all of the people that sit up there talking about if that would have happened to me, it happened to your sister, it happened to your mother. What did you do?
Let me ask you something. How many people have come to you and say, yo, Poppy, thank you for telling your story because it happened to me too?
I can't even keep count. If you sit back and you
because they come to me, so I can imagine what they do to you.
Look at the bags up under my eyes. Everybody like, yo, you got to get some sleep. Get sleep. Matter of fact, I got drunk the other night and I was boo-hoo crying. Some of my soldiers was on the phone with me. They was like, yo, who we gonna do this? We gonna do that? I'm like, nah. The alcohol got to me listening to the stories.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with one of my best friends, right? And she broke down to me how her mom's was raped. That's how she was born.
Wow.
Her father raped her mother. Her mother was in her crazy house ever since she was born. Every time she goes to the crazy house to see her mother cooks out. When she turned 11, 12 years old, she was raped by 2 men.
Wow.
She couldn't even tell her grandmother because she knew it would be devastating.
Yeah. So that's was one of the reasons why y'all doing lectures and y'all doing many things to try to, help some of the people that's going through it. Now, the biggest thing right now is KRS-One. You addressed him the other day. When you first heard his comments, how did you hear his comments?
When I first, people was tagging it to me on Facebook.
Okay.
And the first time when he came out, I was like, all right, he done lost his noodles.
Yeah.
But then for him to come out again and say, like, Docz, when you said to Bam, and first and foremost, let me say right now, I've been outside KRS-One house. I've been backstage with the dude and did shows with him a couple of times in 99 with Truck Turn and Agard. I met him through them, so he probably don't even remember. I've been around him, looked up to the dude. He was like an icon, a heroic figure to me, legendary.
Yeah.
He used to be my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
So for him to say that, it was like, yo, he hit me with he emptied a clip in me.
Wow.
So I listened to him. Now, all right, I'm past that now. My whole thing is, what did you mean when you told Bam to handle your business? Because I took that some type of way. Like, what you mean how he's going to handle his business? In what way is he supposed to handle his business? Because as far as I remember, if you want to get down to talking about handling business, you ain't do nothing about when Scott LaRock got killed, homie. Duke that aired him out still running around. You ain't do nothing. So if we're going to get down to handling business, I think you want to handle that business.
Yeah, let me speak on that real quick. I never cared for KRS-One. Like his rhymes, I always thought he was whack. And I'd be confused to why people be like, oh, he the hottest rapper of all time. He ain't never been hot to me. I can't recall one line that he said that just had me like, oh, he's nice. I never liked KRS-One. He always seemed phony to me. And when he came out and said what he said about Afrika Bambaataa, he was real nonchalant about the allegations, like, oh, that's not hip hop. That made me feel like, man, fuck hip hop. Y'all all a bunch of cupcakes. So that just goes to show, man, them dudes, y'all role models y'all be looking up to in the music industry, they not really for the people, man.
Wow. So, wow. KRS-One says this, and then you was trying to be as disrespectful as possible. You said, what made you go that far? Because you said you looked up to him, and then you was just like, fuck him now? Or like, where you stand with KRS-One
First and foremost, for him to say hip hop is more important than the youth, by saying that Bam is not to be judged, and then going to turn around and say only 4 witnesses. First of all, only one person should be enough to come forward. But the fact of the matter is to have 4 people, which is really 6, that came forward, and there's about 100 of them behind the scenes that's talking about Bam, number 1. Number 2, everybody from the Bronx, from New York, period, been talking about Bam being a child molester for over 40 years. Let's stop playing. That's one allegation that, to follow you for so long, it got to be some truth to it. But
I heard it, and I'm from Brooklyn.
Let's break it down real quick, right? His roommate, manager, Ahmed Henderson.
Okay.
Right? Ahmed vouched for the fight that happened with Brother T.
Okay.
Brother T set it on Bam because he saw Bam with underage Raheem.
Okay.
Giving him oral sex.
Who's Raheem?
Raheem is, well, I don't know this particular Raheem, but there was another Raheem in the Zulu Nation that I did know.
Okay.
But he left the Zulu Nation, and everybody wanted to know why he left. back then. I guess this was in 95.
Okay.
So now 94, 95. So Brother T sets it on Bam when he sees this. Now behind the scenes, B.O. was told about what happened with the situation with Bam. And there was a fallout going on, but B.O. never got a chance to resolve the situation on what happened because he got killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bringing it back to Ahmed pretty much got up there and he admitted there was a fight. He broke the fight up. Star asked him what was the fight about. He said, I don't remember. He also admitted, this is his manager, manager / head of the council, and roommate that Bam was living in. He also said in that interview, right, that he closed down the apartment that I got molested in, that Brother T set it on Bam in because he got tired of the rumors of Bam playing with little boys. When I ran into Powwow from Soul Sonic Force, I'm naming names again, he told me what really happened. Ahmed called Powwow and Crazy Mike. They came over to Bam's house, Ahmed's house. When they got in there, what had happened was the house smelled like little boy's ass and the little boy that was in there.
Oh, hell no.
And that's the day that Ahmed put Bam out. So when you analyze all of the evidence that's out there, then you have Lord Sharif. Lord Sharif is a soldier. He's basically sitting up there telling you, yo, I've seen Bam with young boys. I've seen him around him. I've seen how he moved. He's actually seen, he didn't name, or Star bleeped out the names, but Tawfiq, he also seen Tawfiq and Bam having intercourse together. And this is where he brought Bam up on charges for homosexuality in 2007. And when, nobody wanted to deal with Bam with it, that's when he left the nation again.
So not
Yo, I can go on and on and on and on with this stuff, man. And the more I listen to him, the more and more I'm disgusted with hip hop as a culture, man. Because when you think about it, hip hop ain't never really do nothing for the people. It done stuff for individuals. It done stuff for people outside. It done more stuff for people outside of the culture than it did for people inside of the culture. I'm talking about these billion-dollar companies that own hip hop. It's good music and everything. It started off great and everything, but the origins of it is zesty. When you think about the Furious Five and all them costumes and shit they had on back in the day, man. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, man. The legacy of hip hop is in Hassan Campbell's hands. The stuff that they was afraid to say, this brother is saying it. Now, if it was another rapper that he was talking about that came out after the fact, make a video talking about Too Short or something, that'd be bad for Oakland, but it wouldn't be bad for the whole hip hop. If somebody come out making allegations about Uncle Luke, that would be bad for Miami, but it wouldn't be bad for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Somebody makes some allegations about David Banner. Oh, that'd be terrible for Mississippi, but it wouldn't be a bad thing for hip hop. But when you come out and expose Afrika Bambaataa, he's the origin of hip hop. So, look, man, y'all gonna have to make up y'all mind. Do y'all think Hassan Campbell came out with these allegations and said everything that he said so he can make a living, so he can get recognitions and people know his name? And people been saying this for years about this brother. He's a con artist. He's trying to get his name up. He's a clout chaser. He's just trying to get a reputation. He's using Afrika Bambaataa to, man, look, the stuff he's saying, don't nobody want to go through that and live through that with people judging you. And everybody got something to say, but this dude, he's a warrior, man. I'll give him that. Look, I got love for Hassan Campbell. I don't know about y'all, but if you don't know who he is, type it in on YouTube, subscribe to all of his channels, watch his videos, great content, by the way. And this brother, look, man, he doing a favor for the people out there that's afraid to speak up for themselves, so he don't get nothing but love from me. But maybe y'all feel different, but I'm letting y'all know how I feel about it. I don't think he sacrificed Afrika Bambaataa's legacy for fortune and fame, But I do believe that hip hop will never be the same after Hassan Campbell. And that's a good thing. Maybe we need to start the revolution and come up with another genre of music or whatever the case is. But that's Negro here nor there. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Docz Daily, where you get highly classified documentations from your boy Sean Blasey. Ha ha ha. But ain't nothing funny though. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Also hit that Cash App, $ Sean Blaze Docz. I'ma holla at y'all later. But before I go, I gotta let the ladies know. Y'all be wondering why I be doing these videos talking about these celebrities. Ain't you scared Hassan Campbell gonna punch you in your face? Man, he don't even know my face to punch me in my face. And plus, I ain't being negative, but I ain't never scared. I risk my life to do this. And just in case you ain't know that's what I be doing, I'ma have to let you know again that
risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl. I risk my life to give you documentations, girl.
Sean got the Docz. I'm keeping it funky like some socks. Ponytail with the box, and my cell phone look like a box. Try not to get shell shocked when I start busting out the Docz. I got secret videotapes of your mom cussing out your pops all over a box of corn pops. This rib